Welcome back. Today, I'm going to go over this housing market. Princeton, Texas invests in number one market per the U.S. Census Bureau, Boomtown, USA. Tip of the iceberg. My headline is Real Estate's Absolute Gold Mine, Princeton, Texas, not New Jersey. Small Boomtown, USA, tip of the iceberg. This is absolutely amazing. You're not going to see this in the mainstream media, at least not just yet. So that's the reason why you should pay attention. So here's my criteria. Small cities, small suburban city is the investment future for real estate investors. I kid you not. And here are some of the highlights. And I'm not going to go over every one of these sentences. You can pause the screen and after the video, replay it and digest this important highlight. Small town USA. And here it is. All these things. And of course, with strong fundamentals, population and job growth and migration, and a lot of all the numbers, all the metrics, everything, all the trends. So you can see right here, jobs, high-end jobs and tremendous emerging markets, small town USA. That's the way of the future. All right. Okay. Nationwide, there are 3,000 counties and 19,000 cities in the US. Some of you may not know that, but that's the case. Now, those 19,000 cities, some are very large cities, some are small, little rural towns. But nevertheless, so as real estate investors, the US is a vast marketplace. Where you invest is critical for your real estate financial wealth building and financial freedom goals. Let's dive much deeper into this. The fastest growing small cities from 2020 to 2023 are all in North Texas. Look at these cities. Number one has been Salina, Texas, has grown 143% in the past 3 years. We're talking a city of, for example, all these small cities, boomtowns, like 10 or 15,000 people. Several years ago, they have doubled and tripled in population. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. The key is you gotta follow the trend. You have to invest where people are going. When there's a lot of people and there are huge demand and there's a lack of supply, Econ 101, housing prices will increase accordingly. Look at the fundamentals, look at the metrics, look at the trends. Let's continue. See all these smaller cities all over North Texas. And what I'm about to share with you, this pure data, it'll blow your mind. Now look at this. This is 2020 to 2023. Now look at, we have Roy City, Melissa, Princeton, Anna, Forney, and many more smaller cities that I'm not even mentioning at this moment. But look at the map. I'll show you the map momentarily. But I want you to concentrate. I want you to direct your attention to number 5, Princeton, Texas. It has grown almost 60% in the past 3 years from 2020 to 2023. And breaking news is, guess what? This is the latest data I just was able to disclose a few days ago, actually, today as we're recording this video in the latter part of May 2025. This is the most current data by the U.S. Census Bureau. Table 1, the 15 fastest growing cities and towns between July 2023 and July 2024. I know we are already in May 2025, but U.S. Census Bureau they are 1 year behind to tabulate their population growth data. We're still waiting for from July 2024 to July 2025, which will come out perhaps 9 months later. But suffice to say, the most current information for the fastest growing cities and towns between these 2 dates are, drumroll please, Princeton, Texas. Percent increase 30%. 2024 total population is 37,000. This is just the beginning, tip of the iceberg. All the surrounding cities in North Texas are the following: Fulshire, Salina, Anna, Foley, and Fate. You're talking a large percentage of the top 15 fastest growing cities in small towns are located in North Texas. Look at the population: 37,000, 54,000, 51,000, 31,000. And these little boom towns will continue to explode exponentially. There are some in Florida, much to some people's surprise. Central Florida, in which we have properties to sell as well. Central Florida is also growing. So Texas and Florida really, for the foreseeable future, are one of the fastest growing small cities in the country. So some of you may be surprised by that. Let's continue. Which city will be the number one fastest growing from July 24 to July 25, according to the U.S. Census Bureau? We won't know until, like I said, 9 months from now. But I would not be surprised they are somewhere in North Texas on the small cities I just shared with you. Which North Texas city will be number one fastest in 2025, 2026, and 2027, and even beyond? And my comment is, knowing what I know, it is North Texas is spreading like wildfire, not just fire, wildfire for years to come, decades to come. I know you're just learning, but I'm giving you this consistent, pure, factual information based on my vast research of being a real estate investor for several decades myself and growing my real estate portfolio all across the country, and also coaching and mentoring my hundreds of students and clients and investors to follow my strategies, my business model. Let's continue. So again, Google the map, Google Texas. This is a Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex. Look at the surrounding city. This is I would say 75-mile radius, 100-mile radius, all across the metro, Dallas-Fort Worth metro. You will see the major city, Dallas and Fort Worth, have at least 1 million people each in a core of the metro. Then you have the suburban towns. I'm not going to mention those cities because it'll take too long. All the surrounding suburban towns sprawling all over the landscape and all the way up an hour north, an hour and a half north, an hour and a half east, west, south, the path of Boomtown. All these little cities, all these little dots, you can throw a dot in anywhere outside the metro of DFW, and I could make an argument. It is a potentially a small boomtown. It's going to grow by wildfires before our eyes for the next few years and beyond. I'll give you more data. So this is absolutely incredible growth in North Texas. Again, when I zoom in, you will see all this north and northeast of Dallas, all these small boom towns. I would cover more, Sherman and many other areas close by. Just bear with me. It's just all this small town, boom town. It's unbelievable. I've never seen anything like this in my real estate investing career. So this is not an exaggeration. According to the latest 2024 U.S. Census Bureau, this is just an estimate. This is just my opinion. Around 50%, give or take, of the top 15 fastest growing small cities in the country are located within 50-mile radius from each other. otherwise known as North Texas. Mind-boggling growth, population, job, and migration growth beyond I have ever seen before in my life. So, some more additional data. The latest Census Bureau claims that Florida and Texas will dominate in growth, which is, to me, not a surprise. So, furthermore, I highlighted some important things. Princeton, Texas, a suburb of Dallas, was the fastest growing city in 2024, and it has increased its population 1/3 in just 1 year, and more than doubled since 2020, from roughly 17,000 people to now 37,000. Is continuing to grow. There are other growth markets as well. LA, Washington, D.C., that's fine. But we're talking for real estate investors, you want to grow your portfolio, you want to buy in affordable income property houses that can cash flow with 20 to 25% down payment. North Texas is the way to go. The other markets, although they are fast growing, like DC and LA and whatever, New York City, the median price of those homes is excess of $1 million. But the properties you can potentially invest in North Texas is in the low 200K, which is absolutely intriguing. The future, again, if you want to become a real motivated, a dedicated real estate investor, a mom and pop investor, for years to come, I kid you not, the United States continued to be a nation of small towns, USA, small towns, boom towns. That's all you need to know from the high level at this moment. The South experienced the highest average population growth of any region year to date, and will continue to do so with small towns, suburban towns of major metros, not just Dallas, other areas of Texas as well, and Florida, and a few other southern, southeast red states. The typical Princeton, Texas home is valued around $325K. So if you don't know my background, when I promote investment property for our investors to buy, they need to buy at the lowest entry level, like 30 to 40% below the median price of a particular area. If Princeton's median price is $325K, that means you have an opportunity to buy great properties with the low 200Ks, 200,000, so you can cash flow, right? Based on the rent projection. So that's the metrics. That's the sweet spot. What's unique about Princeton? By the way, I did a bus tour in Princeton a couple of weeks ago. So I see it with my own eyes. But the Princeton is located only 40 minutes from downtown Dallas and Fort Worth. And there are the neighboring cities next to Princeton. We're talking McKinley and Plano and Frisco. The median price of those towns, which is only 30 minutes away from Princeton, is already $500,000 in nearby McKinney and $750,000 in Frisco, 30 minutes to the west, right? And of course, I'm not going to talk about the median price of properties in the core areas of Dallas and Fort Worth, closer to the center city, downtown, if you will. We're talking like $1 million homes. So to be able to buy a property, investment property in Princeton, which is so close to the metro, for only in the low 200K for single family home, new construction, which I will go over in more details momentarily, which is absolutely intriguing and exciting, to say the least. As you can see, another high-level map of all cluster of small towns that are growing so fast. Selena, Anna, Melissa, Princeton, Fate, just to name a few in the north and northeast Texas area, like 30 to 40 minutes from downtown Dallas and Fort Worth, which is the top 5 metro in the country in terms of size and population. Fastest growing cities. Every time I drive past a white water tower like this one in North Texas, I see Boomtown. So Princeton is no exception. Which next North Texas city will be number one in fastest growing per U.S. Census Bureau? Well, we just I'm not surprised at all. Going to be somewhere in North Texas. Historic appreciation. That's right. Who would have think if you look at the nationwide housing market, you see like a lot of challenges. I'm not going to go over that, but the real estate is local. So I'm providing you with some local data here in Texas, here in North Texas, to be exact, that this three county is in North Texas is among the fastest growing in the country. These three counties, they are Grayson County, Hunt County, and Collin County. Again, the median price in Grayson County is only $334. In Hunt County is only $293, and Collin County is a little bit higher than $334. But if you can buy a entry-level investment properties for mom and pop investors, which I'm targeting, is the numerical metrics is ideal. That's all I have to say. Furthermore, while the rest of the country have potentially or projected to have a slow growth, slow appreciation, not in this local market, not in North Texas, just in the past year, in the year 2024, Grayson and Hunt County have grown year over year, median home price 4.6 and 9.7%. We're talking 5 to 10% median home price gain in year 2024. So imagine, what do you think? I know 2025 is halfway over pretty much right now. So given the trends, given the demand greater than supply, it will put upward pressure on home prices. Last calendar year, this three county has already increased 5 to 10%. What is there any other reason why this year, until the end of this 2025, we do not expect continual price growth in North Texas in this three county? So the trends does not lie absent any unique situations. So once again, AirDNA, I'm just giving you a lot of supporting data, a lot of verification. AirDNA, a research organization, they have indicated the growth in small cities, in rural markets, highlight the investment potential. Small city, rural cities have the highest gain compared to urban metros, suburban, mountain lake, coastal, and mid-sized city. So the key is buying at the beginning of development before home prices skyrocket. So Texas right now is right behind California. Only 10 million people behind California. As you can see, it's pretty much the same size. Texas and California is pretty much the same size. But in about 15 years, 2040, Texas will have a population of 36 million and California 42 million. So who knows? Maybe not in my lifetime, but in about 30 to 40 years, Texas will exceed California. Not only that, Texas will have more people living in Texas than any of the 49 states, more than California, more than New York State, more than Florida, more than Washington, any other state. So that's just to show you the explosive growth of Texas, and specifically Dallas-Fort Worth, and specifically North Texas, and specifically all the little numerous small towns, multiple cluster of small boom towns in North Texas will continue to skyrocket. That is my opinion based on my vast research that I've done over the past several decades. You may not know, I have helped our mom and pop real estate investors from all over the country to buy investment properties in the emerging markets. And I'm using the same business model, same system, same process, same procedures to help our investors become millionaires over time. It's not a get rich quick scheme by any means. Takes a while. But if you look at the data, why DFW and infographic, I'm not going to go over all the details, but you can pause the screen and digest these details in huge population growth. Oh, look at these numbers. It's just job creation, different type of industries, high tech, manufacturing, finance, construction, healthcare, hospitality, very diversified economy in DFW Metroplex. And the median price is still very low. It's less than 400K. It's less than the median price of a home nationwide. And upcoming project, I'm not going to say anything more. All kind of high-tech company, cheap manufacturing companies are moving into this small boomtown, believe it or not. When I started my investing journey more than 2 decades ago, I would never imagine that we're talking corporations, high-tech companies are moving into small towns like we have seen right now in North Texas. It's just absolutely mind-boggling. Yep. Nowhere else in the country, where you see small towns of 20 to 40,000 people, where you have major corporation, major chip manufacturing, and major high-tech companies and small tech and medium-sized companies moving into the suburbs, moving into the exurb, into the rural areas. But DFW, North Texas, this is happening. This is just a beginning tip of the iceberg. And risk investors, mom and pop risk investors, you know who you are. If you see this opportunity, this is early stage. This is the tip of the iceberg. This is the beginning path of growth. Take action now before everything just go bonkers. Let me continue. Housing shortage, obviously, the constructions couldn't keep up with the rising demand. Housing shortage is getting worse and worse, especially in North Texas. So our business model that I teach my students, investors for many years is buy long distance, buy remote, buy turnkey, new builds, cash flow rentals, 20 to 25% down payment. You will achieve cash flow and then invest over time. Now, because I have done it for so long, I have connections, all the national builders and local builders, small builders in the market that we're promoting. I know we only talked about North Texas right now, but I have markets currently in other parts of Texas, Central Texas, in South Texas, in Oklahoma and Alabama, and in Central Florida, and in a couple of Midwest markets. That's the areas that we have vetted, that we have a tremendous team in those locations. So you can do turnkey, remote investing and surround yourself with a great team, property management, whole 9 yards, so you can become a passive investor. So due to our long-standing relationships and hundreds of investors that I work with within my network, the Eurostan network, anytime in the past 20 years, we have direct access to builders at great pricing for these off-market, below value, entry-level properties, new construction. Okay, if you're part of our network, part of our inner circle, if you will have access to these properties. So we work with over 50 builders in various growth markets throughout the country to service our investors' needs. About 95% of the property we sell are off-market, new construction, single-family home, 2 to 4 units, and other small multi-family units, and use a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage to do that. So if you are investors not part of our network, you will not have access to this type of great deals, this kind of amazing cash flow properties, brand new construction. You can try to find your own team. You can try to contact some of these builders directly, but they're not going to work with you because we already have a partnering, referral, reciprocal relationship with these builders and national builders and local builders who have done it for a long time. We have a great track record. They trust me. They trust my network. So any given week, they allocate 2 or 3 of their houses, to new houses to our investors. But most of their community, they sell or for owner occupied buyers only. They only allocate few for investment purposes to our network. So that's the value of become part of our network and part of our inner circle. These are all market. You cannot find this kind of great properties in the multiple listing service. If you try to contact these kind of builders directly, they would not give you time of the day. They're going to ask you, what network are you working with, or whatever. You're not going to get the deals, the incentives I will talk about shortly of the value of working with our network. And right now we're seeing our national and local builders in the area in North Texas, they are coming out with phase one. If you're savvy, if you're experienced investors, you realize phase one of any new release of inventory by the builders, we have a price, a low price, presumably, because it's phase one. But phase two, when they build more homes to release in the next 6 months, phase two, the price is going to increase. That's how it is. And phase three, if there's any phase three with some of these builders, when they release more homes, months down the road, it'll be higher priced. So get in early at the phase one or phase two level. So you buy at a very low price, even below market price from time to time when we have more incentives coming from our network builders. So let's go on. And again, some of the builders, it all depends what type of incentives. Sometimes our builder, they have a fiscal year ending and they want to sell out the inventory of the remaining houses, and they'll give you like $30,000 to $40,000 discount, not because they are under distress to sell the properties, but they want to sell out the remaining releases so they can build the next phase. That's how the builders work. They're giving you this current amazing incentive, which I will give you more details momentarily, not because they're under distress. It's just that they are trying to build more homes to accommodate the tremendous influx of people moving into North Texas, in Princeton, and all the boomtowns that we work with these builders. It's just mind-boggling. So that's the urgency for investors. Building incentives, there's more to it. I'll give you more. Not only you can get a 10 to 20% below market discount on new constructions, you're also getting a rate buy down with no cost out of pocket from you. The builder will give you some rate buy down. They could buy down your rate to the tune of 5.75%. Fixed rate, 30-year fixed rate mortgage, and they will pay $2,000 of your closing costs. And they'll give you the first year property management free. Our property management company, they're managing all our investment home for the past 20 years, actually. So I'm not going to go over the pro forma that much, but here are some of the current listings in Princeton, which is mind-boggling. I don't believe, look, this is a few weeks ago. I believe we're not going to have anything less than $200,000. This is brand new construction in one of the master plan community that our builder have released some of the inventory for our investors. Look at these numbers. Look at it. It's just, how is this possible? A great house, brand new in Princeton, Texas, only like 40 minutes away from the inner core of Dallas-Fort Worth, selling at this price, with the surrounding cities, the median price of homes 10, 15 minutes away, or like 500, 600, 700K. So if absolutely mind-boggling. Not only that, the rental market is very strong. You could have a great tenant base. This pro forma, you can look at on yourself. I'm not going to spend any more time on it. You put 25 to 30% down payment. You're going to, with this lower rate buy down, and you minus taxes, insurance, and all that, you get a mortgage for this amount. Your monthly net cash flow is almost $500. This is mind-boggling. And the cap rate, 8% cap rate, cash on cash return, 9%. Look, I'm not going to go over it. You can pause this screenshot and digest this pro forma, these numbers. It's just off the chart. Let's go on. This is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath model, 2-bedroom, 2.5-bath model. But the more traditional model plan is 3-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath, 1-car garage, 1,419 square foot, only $225K. You put 20 to 30% down payment. The monthly net cash flow the first year is only $500. But you have to look deeper. The 3-year projection, the 5-year projection is a mind-boggling total return, as you can see right here. I'm not going to go over too much. And then the model plan that I really like at $230K, this is amazing. 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath, 2-car garage, around 1,500 something square foot, only for $230K. The rent is only, the monthly rent is only what? What is it? Yeah, it's $1,700. The rent is going to increase very soon. This is just my opinion. The rent going to increase. It's going to appreciate. This is an amazing plan. Look, the builders can only allocate few homes at a time. I have a VIP list of buyers already in my pocket that whenever there's several release come from these builders per week, whatever, my VIP list gets the first crack of pulling the trigger on some of this limited release. Look, even with the motivated buyers that we have on my list, people that are already pre-screened, people that have the ability to pull the trigger, they have already been pre-qualified, they have purchased properties from us before, they are repeat buyers, most of these savvy buyers, they are on the waiting list. Whenever our builder, doesn't matter whether it's in Princeton or other areas of North Texas, when they release those limited amount of homes, we always have more motivated and serious buyers than there are supply of inventory for our investors to buy. That's the bottom line. Tower kickers, I don't know. We don't want that. We want serious buyers who have the ability to pull the trigger. They have done their research, their due diligence, and I prep them very closely, very seriously. They are ready to go whenever like I said, on a weekly basis, on a particular builder can only release 3 or 4 or 5 of those homes to us. And we have like 20 or 30 buyers fighting for this 3 or 4 or 5 homes that gets released by a particular builder. That's how it works. Not just in Princeton, but the other sub-markets that we work with close by. Similar scenario play out every single week for the foreseeable future. That's how hot the investment market is in North Texas. So amazing future growth, rental growth, appreciation growth in Princeton, Texas. And now our team on the ground, our property management, the team that we work with, we came up with this very realistic, in our estimation. This is our business model, 2 to 6 year hold strategy. You buy 1 or more properties as soon as possible. You hold for 2 to 6 years. Then you sell the property or do a 1031 tax deferred exchange to leverage into more properties and repeat the process 2 to 6 years. At the end of the day, I already discussed with you, we have many builders we work with because of our track record, because of the result that we have achieved for our investors. That's how it works. That's how you scale your portfolio. We have serviced more than 1,000 investors in this local market for the past 20 years. With average available inventory on a monthly basis around 50. With 20 plus builders we work with in the North Texas area. And we have 6 lenders we can refer you to that specialize in investment loans that offer these unique programs strictly for our in-house investors. So we have the whole team, property management, the whole 9 yards to help you grow long-term. I'm not going to go over this amazing blueprint, if you will, with the numbers. The idea is doubling the process. Year 1, year 3, year 6, you can scale your portfolio all by equity appreciation, the projection that we have. So you can scale using equity to buy multiple properties. So this is the domino effect. So digest this screenshot because this is our investment methodology. This is our model blueprint for your long-term wealth building. Cash out refinance every 2 to 6 years, and or to do a 1031 exchange so you can leverage into more properties. And that's how we do it. The power of real estate investing. You buy these low cost entry level properties in growth markets, such as in North Texas and Princeton right now. So these are the cookie cutter entry level homes, new construction you can buy. This is our Einstein method of creating real estate wealth. One rental at a time, two rental at a time over the years. That's how you scale your portfolio. So build your empire mindset. Okay. You have to think like an emperor. So you can buy. Look, some of you, all you need is 2 or 3 properties. That's all you want. That's all you need. Some of you, you're more ambitious. You want to buy more properties, and we can help you with that. You can do it. You can scale your properties in a way that we are showing you. This is a track record we have practiced for the past 20 years. Our property management on the ground have done it over the past 20 years, and they can, for the next 20 years or more, they can help you with all this scaling of the portfolio. We can hold your hands, the whole 9 yards, build your empire mindset. And in the end, because this investment is almost passive, which is amazing hard to understand, whether you own 3 properties, 5 properties, or 6, 10 properties or more, or if you're located out of state, all the better. You only need to spend 1 to 2 hours per month in managing your vast real estate portfolio. It's this turnkey remote investing. We have done it for a long time. We have a great team. We have vetted the markets. We have vetted all the locations and everything all put together for you, so you don't have to waste years and years of research and due diligence to find your own team, to find your own market, whatever. We've done everything. We have all the partners in place, as you can see. And easy process. You can hold your hands. Our investment team on the ground in North Texas will scope, run the numbers, and send you properties that fit your criteria. Our in-house team in North Texas on the ground, we are your eyes and your ears, and our property management, they will do virtual visits without having to leave your home wherever you live in California, Washington State, or New York City, the high cost market where you cannot cash flow in your local market. That's why you come out to our locations and do our deals. We'll provide you with photos, videos, everything you need to make an informed decision. If you're not willing to come out here, although we have monthly bus tour for out-of-state investors. So we have in-house lenders that can help you to get qualified financing. We have in-house acquisition and sales and leasing and management and repairs and maintenance and more for a truly hands-off experience. We have market monitoring with updates to help you know the conditions and if and when it's time to sell or do a 1031 tax-deferred exchange. So the key is, why are so many investors from all over the country, even out of the country, overseas, American citizens that is, are drawn to our turnkey new build investment model? Hold on. Our veteran teams on the ground offers tailored guidance and mentorship to our investor clients from out of state. New construction, single family homes start in a low 200 grand and features lucrative year 1 tax savings, builder concessions, including interest rate buy down and cash toward closing, which are already discussed. Select up and coming pockets around the Metroplex. I already told you the various Boomtowns, small towns that we are working our service to, offer great potential for future appreciation and rent growth, allowing investors to quote unquote snowball their equity faster over time. Our team, in-house property management, is offering 1 year free property management so you can have a better cash flow. And of course, real estate long-term for the past 100 years have always increased in value, with the small exception of the housing crash that occurred between 2006 and 2008. That's the only exception. Every other year, every other decade, real estate have increased in value over time. So the biggest opportunities always come from being early. Once these changes start taking effect, the window to position yourself ahead of them closes forever. So contact me for a 15-minute complimentary consultation. If there's a right fit, we will go over my fees and services associated working with me. And here's my contact information, as you can see. So at the end of the day, where else, what other markets, what other location where you see this kind of value? Nowhere, anywhere in the 49 states. You tell me where you can you can purchase this kind of properties. So in this challenging times going on, all the fear and all the economic uncertainty, recession, housing crash, from doom and gloom, content creators out there, and all the inflation fears and tariffs and all this political upheaval, all that's got all the negativities going on. At the end of the day, if you buy in a local market, have this unique local metrics, economic data, the fundamentals and the projections of growth and the cash flow, turnkey, the whole team helping you to grow your portfolio. Nowhere else you can do this. No other system, no other process, no other market that will provide this kind of track record as I discussed. Thank you so much. If you receive any value from this video, please like and subscribe my YouTube channel, and better yet, put your email into my website, the Year Real Estate Network, below you, and become an email subscriber to our investment community of several thousand members. Free member, you can learn free contents coming to your email inbox every single week, so you can learn more about real estate investing. So ultimately, you can pull the trigger if you have the motivation. Some of you can do it right now. You can contact me directly. We do a complimentary consultation. We take it from there. All right. With that in mind, thank you so much for watching. This is Wing Yi, and I will see you on the next video. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.